TIFU. I got drunk and fucked my childhood best friend. Now she's pregnant and I'm dating her sister, so this all started 2 months ago, and I still don't know how the hell I let it happen. I'm 26, live in a small town in Ohio, and up until recently my life was normal. Nothing flashy. I have a job at a local HVAC company, I drive a 2012 Silverado, and I've been dating a great girl named Kelly for almost a year now. Kelly's smart, kind, ambitious. The kind of person who makes you want to be better just to keep up. She's the type who makes breakfast on Sundays and color codes her Google Calendar. We met through her older sister, Sam, or Samantha, technically, but no one calls her that. Sam and I have known each other since kindergarten. We used to trade Lunchables and build forts out of couch cushions. We've been inseparable for over 20 years. Everyone who knows us calls us siblings. The twins that never were, some people say. My mom used to joke that we shared a brain. And yeah, we were close. Too close, maybe, in hindsight. Anyway, Kelly threw this big birthday party for me at a friend's house. It was one of those small gathering type of things that somehow turned into 30 people in an open bar. Kelly had to leave early for a work thing the next morning, something about a client pitch in Cincinnati. So she gave me a kiss, told me not to drink too much, and left around 10 p.m. Sam stayed. Now, I wasn't planning to get plastered, but that's what happened. People kept handing me shots. There was music, old friends from high school, even my idiot cousin Darren with a bottle of Fireball. You get the picture. Sam and I were in the kitchen most of the night, catching up. We've always been touchy-feely with each other, side hugs, leaning on each other, friendly roughhousing. It's just how we've always been. But that night, there was this weird energy. I didn't register it until much later. I remember her laughing at one of my dumb jokes, leaning in a little too close, her hand brushing my knee. I think she even said something like, "We've always been too close, huh?" And I laughed it off. Next thing I know, we're in the guest room upstairs. Clothes come off, everything's fuzzy, I can't even tell you who kissed who first. It just happened. There was nothing romantic about it, nothing passionate. It was sloppy, stupid, and over way too fast. When I woke up the next morning, my head was splitting and Sam was next to me, already dressed, sitting on the edge of the bed with this look on her face like someone had punched her soul. She didn't say anything for a long time. Then she goes, "We fucked up." Yeah, no shit, we agreed it was a one-time thing. A mistake. Something to bury in the deepest vaults of our memory and never, ever talk about again. I swore to her I wouldn't say anything to Kelly. She nodded, but didn't say much else. She just looked empty. I took a shower, drove home, and spent the whole day pretending nothing happened. Kelly called around noon to check in. I lied straight through my teeth, told her the party was fun and that I missed her. The worst part? I meant it. I missed her. The following week, I tried to act normal. Sam avoided me, but we'd text occasionally, brief, awkward stuff like, "Hey, did you tell anyone?" or, "Are we okay?" But things were clearly not okay. Kelly didn't notice anything weird. Or maybe she did and just didn't want to bring it up. Then came the second worst night of my life. It was a Thursday. I was in the middle of fixing a busted AC unit when I got a text from Sam, "Can we talk?" I replied, "Sure, what's up?" She said, "In person. We met at a diner just outside of town." She looked pale and nervous, like she was about to be sick. I thought maybe she was going to tell me she was seeing someone and felt guilty. I was not ready for what came next. "I'm late," she said. My brain went into fight or flight. I played dumb. Late for what? She just stared at me. Then she reached into her purse and pulled out a pregnancy test. "Positive." "I took 3, she said. My mouth went dry. I think I laughed, not because it was funny, but because my brain short-circuited. "It's not mine," I said. She nodded slowly. Who else would it be? She wasn't seeing anyone. I knew that. She'd been single since her ex moved out a year ago. And well, yeah. I stared at the little plus sign like it was a ticking bomb. That's where the real panic started. I told her we needed to think. She said she already had. She wasn't asking me for anything. She didn't want money, didn't expect marriage. But she also wasn't going to lie. If someone asked, she wouldn't hide the truth. She looked me in the eyes and said, "You don't have to tell Kelly. But I won't lie if she asks." The whole drive home, I felt like I was floating. Like my body was driving but my soul had pieced out. I sat in my truck for an hour, just staring at the steering wheel, trying to figure out how my life went from normal to Maury Povich episode in 2 weeks. I didn't tell Kelly. I couldn't. I still haven't. I keep thinking if I wait long enough, maybe something will change. Maybe it's not real. Maybe she'll change her mind. Maybe I'll wake up, but the clock's ticking. Sam's not showing yet, but she will. And when that happens, yeah, I don't know. So yeah, today I fucked up. Bad. You ever feel like your brain just refuses to believe something's real? Like your eyes see it, your ears hear it, but your mind's like, "Nah, that's not happening." That's been me since Sam showed me that goddamn pregnancy test. It's been 3 weeks since then, and I've been living in a constant state of panic sweat. I keep waking up at 3 a.m. like I forgot to do my homework, only it's not homework. It's a potential human being that I helped create with my best friend / almost sister. Kelly's been noticing that I'm off too. She keeps asking if I'm okay. I tell her I'm just stressed at work. Technically not a lie, considering I've been messing up left and right. I dropped a wrench on my foot last week and didn't even notice until my sock was soaked in blood. The worst part? I can't even talk to anyone about it. My best friend Rob would 100% tell everyone. My brother would roast me into oblivion. My mom would cry, and I sure as hell can't talk to Kelly. So it's just me, alone with my thoughts and Google searches like, how accurate are at-home pregnancy tests, and, what percent of pregnancies are false positives? Answer, not enough. I did go back to Sam's place once just to talk. It was a Wednesday night. Her apartment looked the same as always, cozy, lived in, too many throw blankets. She had tea ready. She looked tired, like she hadn't been sleeping either. We sat on her couch in total silence for like 5 minutes. Then I said, "You're sure it's mine?" She didn't even blink. Yes, I nodded. Okay. She added, "I'm not asking you to fix it. I just thought you should know. I'm not gonna lie to people if they ask. Especially not Kelly." That last part made my stomach twist. Kelly, sweet, smart, responsible Kelly, who trusts me completely and who once cried when I brought her NyQuil during a cold because no one's ever taken care of me like this. I am officially the worst person she's ever dated. Maybe the worst person period. I asked Sam if she'd thought about, not keeping it. She shook her head. I thought about it, but no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to go through this alone, but I also don't want to force you into anything. Then she said something that hit me like a truck. I don't expect you to love me like that. I know how you feel about Kelly. I don't know how I feel about Kelly anymore, to be honest. Like, I care about her. I still want to be with her. But there's this constant knot in my chest now, and every time she hugs me or says something sweet, I want to crawl out of my skin. Sam and I agreed to keep it quiet, for now. She's not showing yet, and she hasn't told her parents. I know her mom's going to lose it. Her dad will probably just go silent and disappointed. But the real wildcard is their grandma. Grandma Alice. She's 81, sharp as hell, and has been trying to get me and Sam together since we were 12. I shit you not, she once knitted us matching mittens and told us they were for when you hold hands skating. She still calls me Sammy's boy. She's going to be thrilled. Which is deeply uncomfortable. Anyway, fast forward to this past weekend. Kelly and I went to a family barbecue at her parents' place. Sam was there. She avoided eye contact like we were strangers. I tried to act normal. I made small talk with her dad about his lawnmower. Kelly was glowing, happy to have everyone together. I thought I was holding it together pretty well until Kelly pulled me aside and asked if I was mad at Sam. What? No, I said. You've barely looked at her all day. You two are usually joined at the hip. I fumbled some excuse about work and stress, and she let it go. But her eyes lingered on me for a second longer than usual. Like she didn't believe me. That night, after we left, I got a text from Sam. We can't keep hiding it much longer. She's right. I know she's right, but I don't know how to tell Kelly. I don't know how to tell anyone, and I don't know what the hell kind of person that makes me, being more scared of losing my girlfriend than stepping up for a child I helped create. But I do know one thing. I don't want Sam to go through this alone. She's been in my life since before I could spell responsibility. I can't just leave her hanging. Even if I don't love her that way, I still love her. If that makes any sense. This is the part where everyone reading is probably screaming, "Tell Kelly." And you're right, I need to. I will. Just, not tonight, maybe tomorrow. If I ever needed a sign that karma is real, this was it. Because the very week I told myself I'd finally sit down and tell Kelly the truth, maybe Friday night, or Saturday morning at the latest, her mom called and invited me to Sunday family dinner. Like a full sit-down, roast chicken, proper napkins, 3-generation affair. Just the family, she said cheerfully. And of course, just the family included Sam. And Grandma Alice. Because why not go full apocalypse mode? I almost declined. I typed out 3 different excuses. Work's been crazy, think I'm coming down with something, truck's acting up again. But each one made me look like I was hiding something. Which, of course, I was. So I deleted them and replied, wouldn't miss it. Because apparently I enjoy suffering. The dinner was at their parents' place, this old farmhouse outside town with creaky floors and way too many cat figurines. I got there 5 minutes early because I hate myself. Kelly met me at the door in this blue sweater that makes her eyes look like some kind of Disney animation. She was glowing, happy, hugging me like she hadn't seen me in a month. And I felt like absolute garbage. Then I saw Sam in the living room. She was perched on the edge of the couch, legs crossed, talking softly to Grandma Alice, who was knitting, obviously. Sam looked pale, tired. Her hands were fidgeting in her lap. Our eyes met for a millisecond, then broke like magnets repelling each other. Dinner was in the formal dining room. Big table, candles, the whole setup. We all sat down, Kelly next to me, Sam across. I couldn't even look at her without my heart trying to escape through my spine. Kelly's dad opened with a toast to family and traditions, which almost made me choke on my water. Then came small talk. The weather, Kelly's new work project, something about the neighbor's divorce. But all I could focus on was how Sam wasn't eating. She moved green beans around her plate. She barely looked up. At one point, she winced like she had a cramp and muttered something about needing more water. No one else seemed to notice. Then Grandma Alice started in. You know, she said, like a grenade rolling under the table, I always said Jason and Sammy would end up together. My soul left my body. Kelly laughed, bless her heart. Grandma, come on, they're practically siblings. Grandma leaned forward. Sometimes the best marriages come from deep friendship. I saw it on Dr. Phil. Kelly laughed again. I did too, because what else can you do when your past is melting down in front of your girlfriend? Then Grandma really let it rip. You kids are getting to that age, you know. I wouldn't mind seeing a great-grandchild before I kick the bucket. Silence. Sam looked like she might faint. Kelly rolled her eyes, playful. Rob's probably your best bet, Grandma. That's when Sam pushed her chair back. I need some air, she mumbled, and left the table. Nobody followed. Everyone just awkwardly returned to chewing. Kelly leaned over and whispered, she's been so weird lately. I just nodded and stabbed my chicken like it owed me money. After dinner, Grandma fell asleep in the recliner, and Kelly helped her mom with the dishes. I stepped outside and found Sam sitting on the porch steps. She didn't look up. I couldn't do it, she said. I sat next to her. I couldn't sit there while Grandma talked about grandkids like that. I thought I was going to throw up. I still might. I didn't know what to say. I wanted to comfort her, but my hands stayed in my pockets. I'm sorry, she whispered. I said, you don't have to be sorry. I do, she said. Because you're still with her. And I'm starting to show. I looked at her, really looked, and yeah. A slight curve, subtle, but it was there. And suddenly it hit me like a truck. This was happening. She was pregnant. With my kid. It wasn't theoretical anymore. I'll tell her, I said. Soon. She nodded, but her eyes said, I don't believe you. I drove home in silence. Kelly texted me as I pulled into the driveway. Miss you already. Yellow heart. Dinner was fun. Smile. I stared at my phone. Then I typed, we need to talk soon. She replied almost instantly. About what? Throwing kisses. I didn't answer. Instead, I sat there, in my truck, and stared out at nothing. And then I remembered something I hadn't thought of in years. When we were about 12, Sam and I made a pact. We were in a treehouse in her backyard, eating gummy bears and watching the sky change colors. We promised that if neither of us were married by 30, we'd marry each other, just to keep weirdos away. I think she meant it. I don't know what I meant anymore. But now we're here. I'm 26, she's pregnant, and I'm with her sister. And Grandma Alice winked at me when I left like she knows everything and is just waiting to plan the wedding. And I'm still too scared to say a damn word. There's no clean way to say this, so I'll just rip off the band-aid, Sam told Kelly. I didn't get a warning. No heads up, no, I think I'm gonna do it, not even up. Brace yourself. She just did it. And I get it, I do. She was tired of waiting. Tired of hiding, but the way it all came out, and when it came out, was the worst possible scenario. It was Tuesday, just an average weeknight. Kelly invited me over for dinner, said she wanted to cook something cozy. She made beef stew, which she knows is my favorite. I was already feeling like a fraud just walking through her door. Sam showed up about 20 minutes after I got there, which was weird. I asked Kelly if she invited her, and she shrugged. She texted saying she had something to say. My heart dropped. We sat down to eat. Everyone was quiet. I could barely taste anything. My mouth was dry and my stomach felt like I'd swallowed a brick. Kelly noticed. You okay? She asked. Yeah, I lied. Sam sat there across from me, playing with her spoon. She looked pale but strangely calm, like she'd made peace with a plane crash before takeoff. Halfway through dinner, she set her spoon down and said, I need to say something. Kelly looked up, chewing slowly. What's up? Sam's eyes flicked to mine for half a second. Then she looked at her sister and said, very calmly, very clearly, I'm pregnant. And it's Jason's. The silence was, I can't even describe it. Not shock, not confusion, just vacuum, like the air got sucked out of the room and the world paused for a second to watch me implode. Kelly laughed, a little, awkward laugh, like Sam had made some weird joke. Then she stopped laughing. Wait, what? Sam didn't repeat it. She didn't have to. Kelly looked at me. I wish I could say I had some noble, courageous reaction. That I stood up and admitted everything like a man. But I didn't. I just sat there, frozen, mouth half open, heart trying to dig a tunnel out of my chest. You? Kelly whispered. I opened my mouth. Nothing came out. Sam added, quietly, it was that night. Your birthday, when you had to leave early. Kelly stood up so fast her chair toppled over. You slept with my sister while we were together? She shouted. Her voice cracked halfway through, like her throat was tearing open. I didn't mean, I started. Don't you dare say it just happened, she snapped. That's not seeking excuse. She looked at Sam. You knew. You both knew. For weeks. And you let me sit here playing house with him while you carried this around? I wasn't trying to hurt you, Sam said. You weren't trying not to. The words hit like punches. Kelly grabbed her jacket and keys and stormed out. I went after her. She got in her car, slammed the door, and took off before I could even knock on the window. I haven't heard from her since. I tried texting, calling, nothing. I even went to her work. She told the receptionist she wasn't available. I left a note, nothing. And Sam's just trying to stay upright. I know she didn't want it to happen like that. I know she hated hurting her sister. But I think she'd reached the edge of what she could carry alone. Now it's out, everyone knows. Her parents. Their dad didn't say a word, he just walked out of the room when Sam told him. Their mom cried, "Grandma Alice?" She nodded like she knew all along. "Sometimes life skips the plan and gives you the outcome," she said. "The question is what you do with it now." Everyone else, friends, mutuals, they're whispering. I've been unfollowed on Instagram. Group chats have gone quiet. Rob sent me a one-line text, "WTF man." That's it, I've been crashing at my brother's. My mom doesn't know the full story, just that, something happened with Kelly. I haven't had the balls to tell her yet. And the worst part? There's no cleanup crew for this. There's no apology that fits. No right move. I destroyed someone I loved. I betrayed someone who trusted me. I helped create a child I wasn't planning for, with a woman I've always thought of as family. And now I don't even have a family, not really. Sam's still here. We talk, quietly, carefully, like walking through a burned house, trying not to step on glass. She said she's keeping the baby. She didn't say it for drama or leverage. Just calmly, like she'd already made peace with it. I told her I'll be there. And I meant it. But I don't know what that means yet. I don't know who I am right now. And I'm terrified of who I'll be tomorrow. 4 weeks. That's how long it's been since the explosion. Since Sam dropped the truth at the dinner table like a live grenade and Kelly looked at me like she didn't recognize my face. Since the crash, the silence, the door slamming, the car leaving, taking whatever version of us existed with it. She never called, never texted, never even blocked me, just erased me. And you know what? I didn't try to fight it. At least not after the first week. Not because I don't miss her, not because I'm not full of regret. But because it became clear that some things aren't fixable. I could have sent flowers, written letters, stood outside her window like some sad indie movie loser, but it wouldn't have mattered. She made her decision. I accept it. I fucked up, not just that night with Sam. I fucked up in the weeks after, in the silence, in the hiding, in the hoping it would go away. I was a coward, and cowardice doesn't get you redemption, just an empty inbox and a whole lot of nights where you stare at the ceiling, trying to figure out when exactly you stopped being a good person. So now what? Now I'm here, sitting in Sam's apartment. The couch where it all started is still here. Same scratchy pillows, same too sweet candle she always lights. She's curled up in the armchair, wearing a hoodie that's a little too tight now. Her stomach has a small, soft curve to it. It's not hypothetical anymore. It's real. It's growing. We don't touch, not in any romantic way. Not anymore. But sometimes our knees bump when we sit close, and neither of us moves away. I've asked her 100 times, "Are you sure you want to keep it?" Each time, she nods. Not dramatically, just, quietly. "I thought about it every day," she told me. "And I know it's not perfect. But I want to. Not because of you. Not because of the situation. Just, because I want to." And I believe her. We don't have a plan. We're not suddenly pretending to be a couple. We're not calling each other Mom and Dad. We're not posting baby bump photos. We're just trying to figure out what this even is. Sometimes we talk about co-parenting. About schedules. About where we'll both be in a year. Sometimes we talk about names. She joked about naming the baby Oops once, and I laughed harder than I'd laughed in weeks. Then we cried, both of us. We do that now, laugh and cry in the same breath. Her parents are still tense, but softening. Her mom gave her a box of old baby clothes from the attic. Her dad still won't look me in the eye, but he nodded at me once when I came by to drop off groceries. Progress? Grandma Alice, of course, is treating the whole thing like a delayed prophecy. "I always knew you two were meant for something," she said. "Didn't know it'd be a baby, but hey, God writes crooked." I don't even know what that means, but it felt comforting anyway. I sleep at my brother's still. My place feels like a museum of a person I don't want to be anymore. My brother doesn't ask questions. He just keeps making space, which is honestly the kindest thing anyone's done for me in months. Some nights, I just sit in my truck outside Sam's apartment. I don't go in, I don't text her, I just watch the light in her window and breathe, trying to remember who I was before all this. One night, I knocked. She let me in. We didn't talk much. I fell asleep on the couch. She gave me a blanket and let me stay. It's like that now. Some nights I'm there, some nights I'm not. There's no rulebook, just two people trying to be less broken together than they were apart. Last Sunday we walked through our old neighborhood. Leaves on the ground, cold air. We passed the park where we used to ride bikes, the deli where we got sodas in middle school, and finally the treehouse. The one where we made that stupid pact, married by 30 if all else failed. She stopped walking, just stared at it. "Still time," she said, smiling. I shook my head. "You think we ever meant it?" She shrugged. "Maybe not in the way we thought." We stood there in silence. The wind blew through the dead branches. The treehouse was falling apart, wood rotting, ladder gone. But it was still there, like a ghost of simpler years. "I don't want to marry you because of this," I said finally. "That wouldn't be fair to either of us." She nodded. "I know, but I don't want to run away, either." She looked at me. No smile, just eyes that knew too much. "Then don't." So here we are, not a couple, not roommates, not soulmates, but something messy and human and real. We're going to raise a child. Together, not for romance. Not for redemption, just because it's ours. She says she doesn't need a label for it. I don't either. We're not happy, but we're not miserable. We're not whole, but we're not broken beyond repair. And that's enough for now. Maybe it's not the ending anyone wanted, but maybe it's the only one that makes sense.